What if humans never had 5 fingers? What if each hand had only one? No thumb, no grip, no fine control. This single change would reshape evolution, intelligence, and everything we built. To understand why this matters, we need to talk about the most powerful feature in human evolution, the opposable thumb. The thumb is not just a finger. It's a biological tool that allows precision, strength, and complex manipulation. Without it, early humans would struggle to grip stones, shape tools, or even hold food securely. In a one-finger world, tool-making would be slower, cruder, and far less precise than what our ancestors achieved. This delay alone could push technological progress back tens of thousands of years. But grip strength is only half the story. The real loss would happen inside the brain. A massive portion of the motor cortex is dedicated to controlling fingers, especially the thumb. With only one finger, that neural real estate would shrink dramatically, changing how human brains develop. Less fine motor control often correlates with reduced capacity for complex planning and abstract thought. In simple terms, fewer fingers could mean slower thinking, not because of intelligence, but because of neural wiring. Now imagine communication. Writing, drawing, carving symbols all depend on controlled finger movement. A one-finger species might still develop language, but written systems would be simpler, slower, and rarer. This alone could limit how knowledge spreads across generations. Even basic daily tasks, tying, cutting, assembling, would require entirely different solutions. Evolution would compensate. Tools might replace fingers, turning technology into a biological extension much earlier. But that dependence comes with a cost: higher vulnerability when tools fail. In a 5-finger world, humans adapt quickly. In a one-finger world, survival becomes fragile. And then there's art, music, sculpture, instruments, entire forms of creativity that rely on dexterity. A one-finger humanity might still create beauty, but it would look nothing like our world. But evolution never takes without giving something back. A one-finger hand could be stronger, far stronger than ours. Instead of delicate control, this species would evolve raw force, perfect for striking, pushing, or stabilizing heavy objects. In combat, fewer fingers mean fewer weak points. Broken fingers would no longer be a common injury. This could reshape warfare. Weapons would favor impact over precision, clubs instead of blades, force instead of finesse. But precision wins wars too. Without fine grip, complex weapon systems would emerge much later, if at all. Technology would compensate. Interfaces would adapt, pressure-based controls, voice commands, and body movement replacing buttons. Ironically, this world might adopt advanced automation faster than we did, because manual control was never an option. Now think about children. Learning would rely less on handwriting and more on speech, memory, and spatial reasoning. That could produce minds that think differently, not worse, but shaped around sound, space, and rhythm instead of symbols. Still, losing written complexity would slow science. Equations, diagrams, and precise notation would be harder to preserve. Medicine would change too. Surgical precision depends heavily on finger dexterity. Early medicine might lag behind until robotics fill the gap. Here's the twist. Fewer fingers could actually reduce sensory overload, simplifying how the brain processes touch. That simplicity might improve focus, reaction speed, and physical coordination. but multitasking would suffer. 5 fingers allow parallel actions. 1 finger cannot. If you're realizing how deeply hands shape civilization, you're already thinking like an evolutionary scientist. Every tool we use, from phones to cities, assumes 5 fingers by default. Change the hand, and you change the blueprint of civilization itself. So the real question isn't whether humans could survive with 1 finger. It's whether the world they'd build would even resemble ours. Biologists believe the human hand didn't just shape tools, it shaped how we think. Our ability to manipulate the world trained our brains to imagine, plan, and predict. With just 1 finger, intelligence wouldn't disappear. It would evolve differently. Maybe they'd be stronger, maybe more focused, maybe less creative, or creative in ways we can't even imagine. What feels like a limitation to us might feel completely normal to them. If this story made you question how fragile civilization really is, you're exactly the kind of mind this channel is for. Because sometimes, understanding humanity starts with changing just 1 small detail. And when you change the hand, you change the future.